if you look at the history of the Amalgamated Clothing Workers under Sidney Hillman, it wasn't just hours and wages that they fought for. New York had a housing shortage in the 1920s, and a group of people centered around the credit union, and Abraham Kazin was head of the Amalgamated Credit Union in those days, started thinking of how can we create quality, affordable housing for our working people.
We moved into this building when it was being built and went up to see as it was being built. And my brother, who lived with us, came back and told us these wonderful stories about how they had gorgeous tile bathrooms, beautiful living spaces, a really wonderful kitchen, and we couldn't wait to get in.
We came to Amalgamated in April 1950 when Building 8 opened up, and we were one of the first few tenants in this building. And our apartment is 9D, and we've been in 9D since then.
My grandmother, when I was growing up, she lived right up there on the 5th floor, one-bedroom apartment. We used to cut for lunch every day from PS 95. She'd make us fried fish and homemade French fries.
When those folks first came here in the 20s and 30s, they were all pretty much of the same background, Jewish immigrants, from the clothing and textile workers unions. Their beliefs, while they were still different, there was still a background that, they all kind of shared in terms of living in a community. Today, there is definitely a little melting pot here.
It's very diverse, and it's like family. It's a community. It's helping one another. It's a co-op, meeting everybody's needs, peaceful.
It's great for my kids. Had a great time growing up, raising them here.
It's a magnificently, physically beautiful neighborhood. Where I came from, 164th Street, when we moved uptown here, it was like being in the country.
It's great that we have a couple of parks right nearby. We love that we have patrol here all, throughout the evening and all day and all night. So that's a major plus for us to feel safe. That's number one.
My son, he loves the school here. Great people, great neighborhood, and this is what I would like him to be a part of.
People love this community. They love living here. They love what it represents.
People say, well, what's your neighborhood like? And I always have to say, it's not even a neighborhood, it is a community. Simply one word, perfect.
We love Amalgamated.
One of the important things is that this community, this development, was always interested in education. And from the very beginning, even during the Depression, we always had an education director.
He was a graduate of Juilliard. He was a violinist. He was a violin teacher before he became education director. So he was responsible for bringing culture in the highest sense here. He got people, top flight musicians to play here.
The education department and the educational cooperatives plays a key role because people are connected with more than just the money aspect of living in the community. They're connected with the social and recreational aspect of living in the community.
We have an international food festival and an international night in which all of the diverse people who live here present their culture, their songs, their foods.
International Night was born because of the cultural diversity that has taken place in the community.
She walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so tender that
It's a pleasure. You meet people of different religions, different age, different outlook, different professions. I learned as time went on that the way to meet other people is to participate in the nursery.
The teachers are great. It's been around for a long time, and you can trust them that they're going to take care of your kids.
We're child-centered. We think about the children first. Hands-on learning. We involve the whole community. The children go in and learn about how the community works. Some of their families work within the office and in the communities.
I had your kids in nursery school and I had the cameraman's kids in nursery school. I was teachers for some and director for the others.
We have art exhibits. Artists exhibit in our Vladeck Auditorium.
I'd like to share my culture and food.
Well, it's a wonderful interest for me. That keeps me going. I enjoy doing it, and I like the results when I make a good painting.
I do a lot of pencil drawing, but this is my first painting. I always go to the water and to the beach in my mind.
You know, it's the artists that make the community a better place. I mean, I honestly believe that. You know, what makes this community special is the connection to the arts and creativity.
It is definitely part of the glue that holds it together. You know, we have the artists living in the community with art studios.
We started out many years ago as a group, and we tried to get a room for photography and for darkroom work.
This is my second home. I was elected to the National Academy of Art. It's the oldest American art organization in the United States.
I love the colors. They almost look like photographs. It's amazing to me how someone can paint these things.
This community does have a lot of ways in which you can become involved. For instance, they're always looking for volunteers.
We had to put in one day, meaning a few hours. And that was a way that we met friends.
Some of the newer families that's moving into the co-op, we're getting them involved. In other words, we're getting them to volunteer and take ownership in their community.
I think there's a diminution in community activity, and I think that's for a lot of reasons. I used to say it's the television and the car. Television keeps you in the house, the car takes you out of the community.
I'm not sure how many of these communities are left and still available to people. But in this community, I think it will go on as long as people live here.
Although it's tough to get younger people to be more involved in the community, I think we're all here and we're all doing the best that we can. And I think it's working, you know. We just need some younger people to take over.
I'm the supervisor of service department to make sure that the cooperators get good service and make everybody happy, make it a nice community.
They're doing a wonderful job, you know. And especially trying to work with us, you know, like for example, getting two people coming in the same day to take care of these the problems here, you know.
When the cooperative calls, just gotta just jump on it right there. Then you know you can't just wait till it falls apart.
And that prevent the problem from escalating also, you know.
I love what I do. I like to keep the cooperative satisfied. I've been doing this for so long that it comes natural to me.
As a cooperator here, we also have a very important role to play, not only depending on the service to do their part, but we also has to do our part. Like if I see a leak, you know, right away I call, you know, or if there are things that I can prevent from happening, that I take care of it. I not just wait and say, well, oh, we have service who's coming in to do the job.
They're there if you need them for anything. They'll bend over backwards to help you, to send people.
They cook during the nursery bazaar. They're at the barbecue grills during the nursery bazaar. And also at the barbecue picnic, they're at the barbecue picnic, barbecuing and with their aprons on and whatever it is that they need to do. They're there.
I take pride in my job, and the guys, I have a bunch of guys that work very hard to make this place what it is.
I think they'll be very happy in terms of the fact that the tradition of the co-op or the cooperative movement, so to speak, is still alive and well.
I think they would think it's a continuation of what they started, and they would be very happy that it's continuing.
The composition of the neighborhood has changed, the ethnicity, the religion, etc., but still wonderful neighbors, still a magnificent group of people with a neighborhood philosophy.
We've always appreciated what Amalgamated has offered as far as the community and safety and so yeah, we've been here a long time and we love it. We're not going anywhere.
We are in our 90s, and I feel safe in this community.
I can still call this home, and my roots are so deep here, I wouldn't know where to go if I had to leave here.
It is home now, and it's been home, and it'll stay home. And when people talk about leaving, I say, yeah, they'll get me out of here. Feed first. I wouldn't go. I have no reason to go.